Hey, all right. Top 10 of 2016. Top 10 albums of 2016. Now, this year was one of my favorite years of this decade so far. And I don't say that because it was hard choosing like a top one album because my favorite album of the year dropped, I already knew it was going to be my favorite album of the year. But I say that it was one of the best years of the decade because not only were there so many good albums, but there were so many good songs as well. Like some of my favorite songs in recent memory, came out this year. So let's just go. All right, I'm gonna give you some honorable mentions before we get into it. Clams Casino, 32 Levels. I thought that album was really good, but the first half was better than the second half. I wasn't really messing with the second half that much, but I loved fuck, what's the last song? Blast. Really good way to end the album. Um, Tribe Called Quest, We Got It From Here. I think it was a really good album and an awesome way for them to like end Tribe as a group and collective. But I don't think I'll really go back to it. I think it was like if I'm gonna listen to Tribe, I'm gonna listen to their older stuff. That's just how it is, and then I might revisit that album. But I don't really go back to that album as of now or as of late. Griz, Good Will Prevail, really good album. Good to throw on if you ever just want to be in a good mood or you just want to hear good music. But I don't think it was good enough to cut my top 10. Lido, Everything, really good album again. I don't think it was good enough to cut the top 10, but really emotional. Super emotional album. Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love. I really enjoyed this album, but it just wasn't exactly for me. And there were just better albums in it. And that's the reason why I didn't make it my top 10. And that's the only reason, really. I think it was pretty close, but it didn't exactly make it. So, let's start. Number 10. Is this list correct? Wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, yeah, I'm ready. Number 10, Life of Pablo, Kanye West. Alright, I had to put it on here because it is a super good album. And I mean, we got Ultralight Beam, Father Stretch My Hands, 1, 2, Famous, Feedback, Lowlights, Highlights. This is a good album. Waves, Real Friends, Wolves, and then all the bonus tracks after that, like 30 Hours, amazing. Or not amazing, but really good. I meant No More Parties in LA is fucking amazing. Fade is awesome. And then St. Pablo, amazing track. So actually, this album is really good. I think the only reason why I put it at my number 10 is because I over listened to it a shit ton when it came out. And I was actually really super in love with this album when it first came out. But as time went on, actually, maybe I should put it up more in my top 10, but for now, I'm actually not going to do that because I already started this podcast, so it's number 10. And actually, I do believe all my other albums I like a little bit better. So, number 9, The Sun's Tirade by Isaiah Rashad. Now, when this album came out, I was kind of skeptical listening to it because I was like, all right, this is not Sylvia Demo. And it was kind of hard to accept it at first. But after a while, just like riding around and driving to it and putting it on randomly, I really loved this album. For the Squad was awesome. Free Lunch, amazing. Rope, awesome. What's Wrong was so fucking good. Park, so fucking good. Titty and Dallas, so fucking good. Stuck in the Mud, so fucking good. A Lot, amazing. AA was so fucking good. Dressed Like Rappers. Like, this album was really, really super good. And I love the direction that he went with it. I think it fits him in a super good way. And it was not expected at all. I thought Sylvia Demo was like my second favorite album of 2014. So I really expected a sound like Sylvia Demo, but we didn't get that. And he came very smoothly with this new sound. And A Lot was so good. A Lot was such a good song. I love how it's like he's super low key on it, but it's like a fucking banging ass beat. Really interesting album. But it's like just listening to this album in the summertime when it came out beginning of September. So yeah, the summertime, riding around to it. I really fucking love this album. Number 8, Blank Face LP by Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q really surprised me with this album. I thought it was stacked as far as good songs. And the whole videos and everything that he did for it were really, really good. Torch, super good. I loved, wasn't Anderson .Paak on there? I don't see his name on the Wikipedia, but I thought he was on there. Lord Have Mercy was such a nice beat. Swizz Beatz killed that shit. That part, of course. Groovy Tony, awesome. And when Jadakiss came in on Eddie Kane, that was fucking sick. No, You're Wrong. I didn't really like that song too much. But Ride Out is like a fucking banger. By Any Means, super dope. Dope Dealer was incredible. Metro Boomin and Southside fucking killed that shit. John Muir, awesome. Never Change was super dope. Black Thoughts was so fucking good. So fucking good. Straight Ballin' was a fucking banger. Only song I didn't really like on here was Overtime. But it's alright. I just didn't really mess with it like that. But yeah, Schoolboy Q super surprised me with this album. I really fucking love this album. I remember the first time I put it on and I was like, I just remember that feeling of like, holy shit, like he really came through with this album. Because Oxymoron was good, but I just don't like the way that he approached releasing the album, because he came out with like 7 songs before the album even dropped. And they were all really good, but it would just kind of ruin the album for me, if that makes sense. It shouldn't make sense. It doesn't, but I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So Blank Face, really fucking good. What number was that? 10, 8. That was my number 8. So next we have number 7, Telefone by Noname. I was really looking forward to this project a lot, and I think this is a mixtape or whatever, but I don't fucking care. All right, they're all the same nowadays. It doesn't matter. My brother was hyping this project up a lot because he's a super big fan of Noname back when she was Noname Gypsy. And yeah, this project was super unique. Super unique beats, and just like her whole style was just so like smooth. It was settling, it was calming, but at the same time it was so sad, man. She had some sad fucking songs on here. But I gotta say, some of my favorites were Sunny Duet. I fucking love that song. Diddy Bop, I insanely love that song. Reality Check was amazing. Casket Pretty was like insanely sad. Forever, that beat was fucking awesome. Bye Bye Baby, that was like the saddest song of all time. Really love this project. I love how it's like short to the point, and it was just really calming. Just like I threw this project on when I was really tired one time, and I took a nap to it, and it was like it was just the best feeling waking up to this project playing in my ears. And now, so that was number 7. Number 6, we have one of the most whacked out fucking projects, Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown. Now, I'm a Danny Brown stan. I was really waiting for this album for a long, long time. And, yeah, it definitely delivered. But it delivered in a way that's like, it's hard to go back to this project. Because for me, this album sounds so fucking depressing, and like you're just losing your mind. And I'm not trying to be in that state right now. All right, I'm trying to be in a state that's rather like I feel good about myself. I feel like positive, you know. I feel like life is going in a good direction. But it's good to know that whenever I feel like my life is spiraling out of control and things are going awful, and I'm going through like an insane, bad, horrible time in my life, that I have this album to throw on. This album is fucking insane. Downward Spiral was like the perfect way to set it off. I loved how he said he called it Downward Spiral, and he used that because he used it in one of his older songs. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh shit, like we're really fucking in for it. Tell Me What I Don't Know, that was a cool song. Rolling Stone was cool. And then all the rest of the songs after those were just fucking amazing. Like Really Dope, I mean, one of the best songs of the year. One of the best songs of the year, easily. Lost was insane. Ain't It Funny? That beat was like stuck in my fucking head. Well, everyone was talking about Ain't It Funny, like that beat, because it's so ridiculous, which I agree. But I gotta say, White Lines really fucked me up. I was, after like the first, like, this first or second day I listened to the album, that song, I tried to take a nap one night, and that song, that beat was seriously stuck in my head. Like, it was haunting me. It was fucked up, and I'm so surprised that Alchemist produced that. Well, I'm not like surprised, but I'm surprised that he has a beat that sounds that fucking whacked out. I really like Dance in the Water, even though it was kind of a different turn. Um, when It Rains is fucking insane. Today, awesome. Get High, I really like Get High because it was like a, it just seemed appropriate with Be Real on it, and it fit such a get high feeling, you know. Hell for It was an awesome way of ending the album. Yeah, I really enjoy this album, but it's like I said, like I only have to go back to it when I'm really feeling depressed or like really just like fucked up in my head. So what number was that? 10, 9, 8, 7. I really suck at counting. So number 5, Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book. Again, it says it's a fucking mixtape, but who gives a fuck, right? This album, when I first heard it, I was like, all right, this is the best album of the year. And it kind of wore off after a little bit. But I don't understand, like, did he put out this project later on and it sounded like good quality? Because that's the only thing that kind of upset me, was like every time I downloaded this album, the quality wasn't like up to par. Like it sounded like it was a little bit off. Like it wasn't like full blast. Like all my songs are so fucking quiet. So I don't know if there's like an updated version of that, but please let me know because I would love to hear that. Oh shit. I forgot to put Kaytranada 99.9% as an honorable mention. That's definitely an honorable mention. I just saw him as a producer on Coloring Book, and I just had to slip that in there. Uh, but back to Coloring Book, all we got was such a good way to start this album off. I love No Problem, Summer Friends, fucking amazing. Dram Sing Special was cool. Blessings, the first one, really good, but Blessings, the second one, is just like next level. Such a fantastic way to end the album. Same Drugs is pretty good. Mixtape, I didn't really fuck with Mixtape. Angels was awesome. Juke Jam was surprisingly pretty good. All Night, I liked All Night. How Great was like is one of the best songs of the year. I love the whole choir in the beginning of that. I thought a lot of people didn't really fuck with it like that because it was so stretched out, but I thought it was beautiful. Smoke Break is fucking amazing. Finish Line, awesome. Drown, awesome. It's a really solid album. Really, really solid album, and it's different. It's different than like any other album I've heard in that special aspect that it doesn't sound like anything else that's come out in recent years. I mean, it's like the social experiments all over here, brass tracks, Francis and the Lights. So it's like their sound really, and it's like Chance's sound, and he really has like mastered it. But I don't like how he didn't really like master the album as far as I'm concerned. Like I haven't gotten like a good quality of this fucking project yet. I have not heard I don't know why it's just like quiet. I don't know if that's like a thing, and I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach rumbling right now, but I'm really hungry. What number is that? I cannot keep up with this fucking. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That was number 5. Number 4, Gallant, Ology. This album is incredible. Every single song on here is good. Every single song. Talking to Myself was fucking amazing. Shotgun, great. Bourbon, great. Bone and Tissue, fucking amazing. Weight and Gold, amazing. Episode was pretty cool, but I usually skip that one. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's like one of the shorter ones. It's track number 9, Miyazaki. That song is like one of my favorite songs of all time. That song is seriously incredible. It's like the smoothest song ever, ever. And Jupiter is like that's another one of my favorite songs of all fucking time. Like when he goes off on that song, he goes off. This dude can sing his ass off. Skipping Stone's really fucking amazing. I love Janae Aiko on there. She sounds like hypnotizing. I actually came across Gallant when I went to this festival in this city called Afropunk in Brooklyn, and it was really good festival. I just stumbled across his set, and he went on at about 6 or 7 o'clock, and the sun was going down, and the mood was just perfect. It was like the coolest, smoothest mood I'd ever experienced at a concert. Like, and I wish I had known the songs then because this project is seriously one of my favorites, and it's amazing. I think he's about to blow up because I've seen him all over commercials and shit. I know Weight and Gold is popular everywhere, so yeah, I really hope he blows up because this project is like I think this project was super slept on. Um, it's just an amazing R&B project. So that was number four. Number three, Avalanches, Wildflower. I can't believe they actually put this album out this year. Such a good surprise, and it's just like I love how it's like classic Avalanche format, like Since I Left You, and they kept it the same, but it's more like 60s, 70s samples. It sounds like. Because I'm Me was such a great way to start the album off. Frank Sinatra was sick. I fucking loved Danny Brown on that. Subways was awesome. Uh, Colors, another one of my favorites. The Noisy Eater was so creative. Uh, who was the rapper on that? Was it what's his fucking name? The guy who sings Just a Friend, what, right? Wasn't it? Let me. It doesn't have an. Wait. Oh, Bismarcky, yeah. What the fuck? I'm an idiot. But yeah, he came. That song is fucking hilarious. Bismarcky came through on that fucking song. Wildflower, cool. Harmony is beautiful. Harmony is so beautiful. Living Underwater is such a sick fucking way to start off into the Wizard of Is. That song when it finally hits that sample is one of my favorites. One of my favorites of the year. That shit is beautiful. And then Danny Brown comes in on it. I love how Danny Brown's like all over this album. Um, Sunshine, beautiful. Kaleidoscope Lovers, beautiful. Saturday Night, Inside Out, excellent way to end the album. Overall, I was super, super satisfied with this album. And it came out, when did it come out? During the summertime, yeah. The first day of July. It is like the perfect, perfect summertime album. I really, really love this fucking album, man. Wildflower is so good. I think it's right behind Since I Left You, honestly. I think it's really debatably it could go hand in hand for a better album with Since I Left You. But moving on, number two, Malibu. Malibu by Anderson .Paak. When this first came out, I kind of waited a little bit to listen to it. It came out January 15th. I'd probably listen to it in like February. When I listened to it, I was like, this is a good album. It's a good album. I'll definitely go back to it. And when I went back and back and back and back over the whole entire span of the year, every time it got better. And it's just like, it's such a feel-good album. It's the best feel-good album. The Bird is an awesome introduction. I say that with every single fucking intro song to the albums of this year, but the Bird really hit me. Heart Don't Stand a Chance is incredible. The Water's incredible. The Season, it's just beautiful, so powerful. Put Me Through, And all these songs just feel fucking amazing to listen to. Am I wrong? Schoolboy Q killed that shit. Without You, Rhapsody murdered that. Without You, just that beat is so good. Room in Here is one of my favorite songs ever. Game did pretty well on that. Come Down Come Down was the first song I heard off the album, and I really love that song. Really, it's really groovy in a way. Celebrate is just feels good. Just feels good. It's like the way the piano sounds and everything, just like the whole mood of that track. It's like the perfect song to celebrate too. And The Dreamer. What a fucking way to end the album. That song is powerful. That song makes you want to get the fuck up and do something with your life. It makes you feel good about yourself. This whole album makes you feel good about yourself. This whole album makes you feel like you can do something and you'll do whatever the fuck you want because it is such a feel good album. And Anderson .Paak really fucking impressed me this year. I forgot to say No Worries is also an honorable mention. I'm a fucking idiot for not mentioning that. Another great project. I don't think it was good enough to cut my top 10, and of course, unfortunately, but I love that album still. And Anderson .Paak fucking murdered this year. Very happy with Malibu. Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, number one, if you know me, if you see me on social media or whatever, if you know me in real life, this should not surprise you. Blonde. Well, actually, oops, I kind of spoiled that. I meant to put two albums as my number one, and they're both Frank Ocean's albums. All right, Endless and Blonde are tied for my number one spot of 2016. Let me get the Endless track list up because this is gonna get real right now. These two albums, I think, go hand in hand. In terms of how good they are. Okay, let's start with Endless. At Your Best, he fucking murdered. Actually, that's a bad word to put for such a beautiful song. He perfected this cover. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, he's really doing it. He's really covering it. And he did it very, very well. Now, the only thing, this Endless is super all over the place. Just as an album itself. But I mean, Blonde, even some people, you could say that album was all over the place in terms of the sound, the weird sounds here and there, the way that the album just changes up randomly. But Endless was like double weird, double random. It was super all over the place. But I mean, I think it evenly has as much goodness to the album as Blonde. I think Endless was just super slept on because of the whole visual album thing. I think if he actually put out Endless like a regular album, then it would have been just as good as Blonde. I think it would have been debatable. I'm not really sure why it doesn't get as much attention as Blonde does. I think there are some amazing, amazing songs on Endless. Comme des Garçons. I suck at pronouncing shit. That song's awesome. In Here Somewhere is beautiful. Slide on Me is so good. Sideways, awesome. Rushes and Rushes 2 are like the best songs ever. Rushes 2 is like fucking powerful, man. Unity, incredible. Mine, Alabama, awesome. I think the only thing that people didn't like about this album, not only because the quality was so not up to par with a regular album because of the whole visual thing, but the songs were short and they were random. They were all over the place with the sounds and everything. I think if he had put out like mastered quality for this album, it would have been a lot smoother and people would have understood it more and it would have flowed a little better, if that makes sense. It would have sounded like it flowed a little bit better. But I don't know, since I fucking just downloaded this album, since I downloaded like someone just like split up the whole songs for me and everything and put a link on it. I downloaded it, I put it in a playlist with Blonde, and I love this album. Now let's talk about Blonde. Does it meet the hype of the 4 year wait? I think it does. I think it does because it's my favorite fucking album of the year, but I think it really did. And I'm a Frank Ocean stan. It's hard to, it's hard not to root for his every move, but I love Nikes. I thought that was an awesome fucking way. Even though it is weird. It's such a weird song when you put it in with the rest of the album. But I think the music is just beautiful. And I enjoy his pitched up voice, and I like how it goes into his regular voice as well after that. Ivy, I mean, I can't even like speak on these songs individually. They're just all so good. They all are unique. It's weird. They all like have this similar sound, They're coming from this similar place musically, where it's just like all the sounds are so beautiful and they're so good. And they all have the same style. They have all similarity throughout the album, besides like Siegfried, which is so powerful. That song is fucking insane. But like Godspeed, White Ferrari, Solo, Nights, Self Control, Pink and White, all those songs, they sound like they're coming from this place like I don't really know how to describe it. But this album feels good. This album was so needed for the time it was released, like the August 20th. I think this album it was just such a good reminder that Frank Ocean is really one of the best out here, man. He's one of the best making music right now. And it was like, this is what we waited for. And it was so worth it. And it's hard to even talk about this album because it's like every song, I don't even want to like go into all the songs. But Self Control, just know that Self Control is the best song of the year. It is. If I was to make a top whatever song list of the year, Self Control is number one. Because not only is that song just awesome throughout the whole song, like the whole guitar and everything and him singing over it, just the whole melody, so beautiful, but the ending is like bliss. When he starts singing at the ending, that shit is bliss. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that song. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know what else to say about the whole year. Thank you for listening. That is my top 10. I'll go over it again. Life of Pablo, number 10. Sun's Tirade, number 9. Number 8, Blank Face. Number 7, Telefone. Number 6, Atrocity Exhibition. Number 5, Coloring Book. Number 4, Ology. Number 3, Wildflower. Number 2, Malibu. Number 1, Endless/Blonde. Let me know what your lists were. And next podcast, I'll be talking about the J. Cole and Ab-Soul albums. I wanted to do it this podcast, but I haven't really had time to fully digest those albums. I want to give them a fair chance. I have listened to them. I didn't finish the Ab-Soul one. I finished the J. Cole one. I listened to it about 1.5 times now. Ab-Soul, I'm almost finished with it. I'll tell you right off the bat, though, the Ab-Soul album is better than a J. Cole album. Not saying that the J. Cole album is bad, but I'm just being honest that I'm already fucking with the Ab-Soul album more than the J. Cole album. And that's it for this podcast. Holy shit, 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. Hope you guys enjoyed. This year has been one of the best years in rap. Actually, not in rap. I don't know why I just said that. In music. I love this year musically. Also, I forgot to mention Elzhi, Lead Poison, honorable mention. I'm just looking at all the fucking names I have on here now. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you think of my list. Let me know about your lists. And yeah, thanks. Goodbye.